Hello, hi, is Felicia Bhoke. I'm a registered nurse in the United States of America. I've been a nurse for over 15 years, and my husband and I, we have a ministry known as Jesus Reigns Restoration Ministry. We help restore people spiritually using the Word of God, the Bible. We help restore people in their health. We help restore people by informing them. We know knowledge is power, and we help restore people economically as well. I'm coming before you today talking about in restoring health to our communities. I'm going to talk about the coronavirus from the nurse standpoint. Why? Because we need to recognize not everyone is going to be able to go to the hospital. Not everyone is going to stay a long time in the hospital or require hospitalization. Therefore, we need to equip ourselves with what we can do at home to be able to manage this disease at home. I'm going to make a series of videos in English and in Swahili so that as many people could be informed as possible. So in this video, I'm going to talk about screening and triage. The information that I'm bringing to you is coming from the World Health Organization website and from CDC. Just trying to break it down for many of us to be able to take in the information and use it. So screening and triage, you need to understand if you want to go to the hospital, at what point you need to go to the hospital. You need to understand when you get there and how you are being triaged. You understand why am I being sent to such a unit? Why am I told to go home? This is why we're talking about this. So screening and triage requires that people with suspected COVID-19 to be separated or isolated from those in the healthcare system. Why? So that other patients who do not even have the symptoms of the COVID-19 should not be infected, should not be affected. So clinicians are advised to consider COVID-19 as a possible etiology of patients with acute respiratory illness under certain conditions that were stipulated here in the World Health Organization page. So there's about 4 facts that we're going to review here. 1, although the majority of people with COVID-19 have uncomplicated or mild illness, which is like 81%, some will develop severe symptoms, severe illness that require oxygenation. And 5% might need to be in ICU. For those that are critically ill, might require to be on the ventilator for a while. And the most common diagnosis that is similar to severe COVID-19 is severe pneumonia. And I'm going to explain the symptoms for severe pneumonia later on this video. Now, point number 2, early recognition of suspected patients. It helps to allow those measures that they need to be initiated to protect other people and to help those patients as well. That's why it's good to identify this disease early. For example, to prevent them from getting to severe pneumonia, or if they show up at the hospital already with symptoms of severe pneumonia. It will help save lives. It will help protect clinicians. It will help protect the healthcare system. Now, for point number 3, for our older patients or those with already that are having health challenges such as heart disease, diabetes, increase of their immunity is compromised. They might present with mild symptoms, but they have these patients population, they're at a higher risk of deteriorating, getting worse, and they might need to be admitted to a particular unit so they can be closely monitored. It might not be ICU, but it might just be a regular unit that they can be closely monitored. And there are precautions in these units as well. And we will talk about what you can do as a family member if your loved one is in one of these units. And point number 4 is for those with mild illness. Hospitalization may not be required. This is according to the World Health Organization recommendation. It may not be required unless there is concern about rapid deterioration or inability to promptly return to the hospital. Maybe they live far away, but isolation might be required to contain the infection, to contain the virus. All patients cared for outside the hospital, for example, at home or other non-hospital settings, should be instructed to manage themselves appropriately according to local, state, or regional guidelines for home isolation, and return to the hospital only if they get worse. Now, World Health Organization has some recommendations on this aspect as well that we are going to share in a few. So I will reserve that for the next video that's going to come after this one. Then thank you for listening, and let's continue to learn about this disease so we can equip ourselves and so we can protect our families, protect our communities, and be able to go through this time with as least effects as possible. Then thank you for listening.